Well, it seems we have shifted dimensions since we are still here. And I think we also shift dimensions every few years because I went back and did a lot of research and I've noticed that there are a lot of things floating around on the internet with different dates on them of what's going to happen as far as a huge disaster or, something earth shattering, earth ending. And I believe it's quantum physics and focused energy on a particular date or time period that actually shifts us dimensionally to a different time period because if certain things happen in one dimension and we're focusing on a different time, then we shift to another dimension. So if we thought it's kind of like a do-over, except there'll be Mandela effects. So we've had a lot of do-overs, and until we figure out how to stop certain things, then everything will be kind of shifted into a slightly different dimension until someone comes up with a way to stop the total destruction. Then we can move forward in the same dimension. But, and here are a couple of clues that they put out on the news for you to see that things have changed and shifted. See, by publicly presenting a false story, we deliberately shift the timeline of what has occurred in the hopes of limiting the investigation. So, investigation of the skies, right? That's why there's clouds everywhere, so that when the clouds clear, there'll be, nothing to worry about. But they've done this a few times. They've done this with a couple of people, celebrity deaths, and they've done this with a lot of things. So this is the lyrics. These are the lyrics to Jay-Z's song "Forever Young." So he knows that there's a way to reset or shift dimensions. This is all you have to do is hit rewind. Stay forever young, and then it goes on to say. The sun is always shining. So we're actually in a dimension now where the sun is actually brighter. So that's why the global warming and the ozone and the electromagnetosphere had to be seen as, dissipating because this dimension has a brighter sun, maybe even two suns. I guess we'll have to see when the clouds clear. But as far as the asteroid and the destruction, I don't think that's getting ready to happen. And as you can see, Drake has his Instagram saying, "What a relief, time, is money." And then you have Joanne the scammer, which is, a trick, a story, liking it. And then if you look at his photo, he's in a throwback jersey from high school. So this means time has shifted and the skies were clear. So here is an old alchemy drawing of when these meteors and things were supposed to be coming to the earth. And as you can see, it's a clock. And the moons, and they try to give you some of the time. They give you like 12, but they don't give you anything else. So the time not being known is for a reason, because if you know the time, then you bring it into existence. If no one knows the time, they can shift the time anywhere they like and also shift the dimensions. So that's why we have so many Mandela effects, because we're shifting time due to the fact that we can, if we all use our, especially the people that are really awake, if we all use our consciousness to shift it to, and also wake other people up to shift it. So our job was to shift the consciousness by believing the false story that was given in order to shift us out of that reality. Even in the Bible, it says that no one knows the day or hour, not even the angels in the heavens, nor the sun, like the sun in the sky, but only the Father, which is the consciousness, the collective consciousness, okay, the one who gives birth to this time, or not give birth to it, but sees this time. So knowing this, we can consciously change any type of event, disaster, as long as we think it's at a time when it is not. And a lot of people think, oh, that's dirty, that's an evil trick, that's so messed up. But it's consciousness and quantum physics and energy directed in a certain particular place so that we can basically jump into a different dimension, since the time was not at the time that we thought it was. So our mental shifts us. So again, I look up new Mandela effects on December 8th, which is today, and there are some. There are new Mandela effects because we shifted dimensions. Now, I got this from a video on YouTube, and I hope that it shows the person's name and things like that, that you can go check out the dimensions, or the Mandela effects, I'm sorry, that have changed. They're very subtle, but I feel like there's something, at least you have some type of indication that we did shift dimensions and that Mandela effect has occurred due to the shift. And so I don't think we need to worry anymore until the next, event comes that we need to create some false information in order to change the energy and thought form to a specific time. Then we can shift again. I have a lot of evidence that I found on YouTube that will also show you guys the switching of the dates. So I hope this is going to, help you guys understand. So right here it says Babcock, and then on the top it's turning into Badcock. And so there's two different spellings. And so it's kind of weird because this person said that it was always Babcock before. Now it's switching, like it's right in the middle of switching. And usually inside of a shift, you'll get to see two versions of the shift. And then once the shift is completed, there'll only be one version left, like the Berenstain Bears, books. Some people would find the old ones and take pictures of it. They'd have to take like photos, and then when they were looking for them, it was very hard to find. They'd have to Photoshop it back in. So it's just a shift that's happened. When they call it the shift, it was a dimensional shift, but it needed our belief that something was going to occur, or that we were seeing something that was not there. And that's how it works. It's just something that has to be done in order to keep our consciousness alive and moving forward. Okay, so this is another example of how the dimensions had changed on this video that I showed you guys. I clicked on it actually, and they were live and they were talking about a few dimensional shifts. If y'all want to go check out this video, they said that they saw a picture from 2016 or 2018, and they were the same. So they don't know which one is which and if we switched out of that dimension or not. So I'm seeing a lot of 2012, 2016, and then 2018. So it seems like it's those years that we're shifting out of into different years. So even many other people that are conscious and kind of know what's going on feel like they also have shifted to another universe. So then I look at these lyrics for Speechless, and they say nothing's real, but all is possible if God is on our side. So as far as what God represents, that could also be the collective, the consciousness. So your love is magical, that's how I feel, but we have not the words to explain. So basically he's telling you nothing is real, but all is possible. So you have the ability to shape like a lucid dream. Then I go to this other video, and she's showing a simulation model from NASA that says a certain date. And that date, the simulation looks the exact same as another. So many people thought it was a hoax, so they just left it up. But then again in 2016, the same model went back up, and people were like, well, what is this? This doesn't look like the sky looks now. So they had to trick the people into thinking that's what the sky looks like from this particular angle. If you trick enough people to thinking something, it becomes a reality. That's why you have to be careful what you watch. And this is for our greater good, hopefully, that we're avoiding certain things from going on. Or who knows, it could be a trick. But as far as the asteroid and anything happening, that's out because this was supposed to be 2012, and then it shifted to 2016, and now it's 2018. And the same model is being put up, but at a slightly different view because we've already seen the other view. So we have to now look from it at this view because we're in a different dimension now from the last time. So this is a different angle, and that is very familiar. I was repeating that for like a long time after that song by Jay-Z and Beyonce came out called called Ape Shit, but it's a different angle. That's why they have the Mona Lisa, because it's a mirror. It's a different dimension. So he said, crowd is a better savior because we can shift dimensions if we're all on one accord, one belief, one frequency. And then it says, I can't believe we made it. It's a different angle. So here is what that represents in that song. We're switching dimensions. And once you switch a dimension, there's some things that change slightly. Like, I don't know, when the clouds clear, I don't know if we're going to have one sun or two suns, but we will see. To me, it doesn't matter. I think there will be a brighter sun, but we'll see what happens. Once it stops and the clouds clear, I guess we'll understand what actually happened. But for now, I don't want anyone to panic because it's over now. The shift is almost complete. And so this is what would have happened. So this is what would have happened instead. There was going to be something that probably hit England, because this is Liverpool, and also, something major to happen in Europe or whatever. And instead, now the shift focuses to the Grammys. And he knew that a lot of people were going to get snubbed. And this song came out a long time ago. So he knew a bunch of people were going to get snubbed. And he was also saying whatever was going to go down was going to be at the same time as the Grammys, which the Grammy nominations in America had came out like that day before or that same day, and a lot of people were talking about the Grammys. And I put that Cardi B photo up when she said that she wished she would have reacted differently, or she wished she would have had a do-over at the Grammys. That was another clue that we are in a different dimension and that we have a do-over or another chance, because we keep shifting dimensions by believing something that's going to happen, but at the exact wrong time. So by thinking something is going to go down, by having people post things online, and by having awake, conscious people being able to read the signs and help other people see things, we've shifted into a separate dimension, a different dimension. And so you can go and get your hot chocolate, turn your fireplace on. Everything is nice, everything is good, and just enjoy. Have happy holidays, have a good season, don't worry about anything. But your energy was what was needed. If you go and watch the end of the Earth song on the movie This Is It by Michael Jackson, he will explain everything to you in that part where he's talking on Earth Song. And this is it. Bye, y'all.